had issues with the distance sensor, I figured it out, and it was just, I was doing it totally wrong. So, this one here is actually the Seed Studio one, but with the ping one, it's pretty much the same thing. I was thinking it'd be like analog in, but it's actually digital, and you sort of pulse it. So yeah, oops. And here's just my DOGCOW robot. I'm thinking that I might do a week of some Red Park serial cable hacks, or just like Mac platform hacks, because Steve Jobs died. Right now all it does is randomly move around. I really can't stand wheeled robots though, they bug me so much. Yeah. And then over here is the robot that I actually sort of destroy often. So I use its servos and it gets destroyed. So right now it's missing an arm. And I used one of these servos in Learning Pet. And yeah, it's just sort of a sad robot. Sad. Alright. Yeah, that's pretty much my robots for this week. Nothing too exciting.
Aaron, I have to tell you, bizarre. So I showed up late and I saw your new icon, Robot Party, and it has the dog on top. And you know, you've got that pixelated dog, right? And I thought that dog was graphics on the screen. And then you moved it, and it took my brain like 8 or 10 seconds to realize what the hell I was looking at. I'm like, how is she doing that? This has got to be green screen? What am I looking at? That was awesome.
Robot Party. Move!
That's fantastic.
The world's thinnest robot. You can hardly see it. Yeah,
because see, look, it's even pixelated. I mean, it looks like you blew it up digitally and just put it on the screen. It's fantastic. You should have that every week.
Yeah, I'll try to. It's not my favorite robot. I sort of dislike it a lot because it has wheels.
See, you're using the same micro gear motors as well.
Yeah, well, actually, I didn't design this robot, but it's called this thing called a rampage robot. It was designed really like a long time ago, like in 2009, and the designer sent one to me, and basically it uses these 4 motors. I'm pretty sure they're from Pololu, and it's just Arduino Duemilanove on here, and yeah, and inside of this other shield, it's like batteries. The thing that I dislike about it the most, though, is that, well, actually, there's 2 things. So, I guess the number 1 thing is that I don't have the knowledge yet to go ahead and modify this to make it the way that I want. And then, so the second thing that I dislike about it the most is just it doesn't work very good. Like, there's lots of pins being used for no reason. For instance, the encoders, they only work if you have an oscilloscope to calibrate them, and I do not have, so it's pretty lame. And the switches are so
You can't,
confusing.
I know what you're talking about. It has a little motor-shaped board that sticks into the wheel. And it's got that tiny, teeny little pot on there. But can't you just calibrate them with an analog channel and just, you know, go black and white and adjust the pot until it Gives you a good high and low, or?
I tried that and it didn't make any sense. There's two, but, yeah, there's two, there's two little tiny trim pots, like super tiny. And yeah, so you can try to calibrate them and try to listen on an analog channel, except like nothing much really happens. That's the weird part. And
remember playing with oscilloscopes back in the old days as a young ham. It was basically just keep fiddling with it until you get something on the screen, and then try to figure out if it's accurate.
Exactly.
cool.
It's like tuning an old television. Just play with the knobs. Do you have anything on the picture yet? No, not yet. We got something.
Well, and also, I don't really like that whole idea of where basically you're just the way that it uses those teeth. It's got those little pins sticking off the wheel, and those are the white stripes, and then the gaps are the black stripes. And it's basically just it's counting on the shadow of the wheel to shield the sensors.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's just kind of a fun, and they use those like the smallest, tiniest little. They're not even 1114s. You know, they're like even smaller than that. And I don't think that's ever been a real good encoder setup. So it's probably not you.
Sort of popping into this the last second. From what I picked up while you're trying to do, I guess probably quadrature encoding for motor direction and distance. Is there any sort of paint marks on the encoder, or is it just like a molded or fabricated encoder wheel?
No, the encoder is actually part of the wheel.
Okay.
It's the polo kind of standard wheel setup where the whole motor sticks into the hub of the wheel, and there's a motor-shaped circuit board that sits on top of the motor and just sticks in there. And yeah, right there you can see Aaron's holding it up.
Oh, sorry.
On my screen, it's okay.
Oh, wrong way. There we go.
Oh, back to the screen a little bit.
So you're going to enlarge this some. I've got the small monitor today. Yeah, I can see that. It's I would call it an over-engineering marvel.
Yeah. So that's mainly the two reasons why I dislike it. Yeah, it has wheels. I can't stand wheels. Just so weird, right? For robots, you think robots, wheels. Anyway.
What do you prefer, tank treads or legs?
I like the NASA solution where you put wheels on the end of legs. That way, if the wheel stops working, you just start walking on it as a shoe.
That would be awesome.